Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping parents and juniors navigate through the journey of junior golf. From fitness to mental coaching, we cover it all on this podcast. Here's your host, Ro Thompson.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Junior Golf Podcast. My name is Ro Thompson. I'll be your host for tonight. Man, we got a special guest on the podcast today. We have none other than Jewel Love from Society 61. How's it going, Jewel?
It's fantastic. Thank you for having us. How are you, Ro?
Oh, I'm doing great. Fantastic. I've been looking forward to this podcast for a while, and I know we've been kind of hitting and missing, but we finally getting it done tonight, right?
Yeah, and you know what? We always know the timing is perfect. So tonight was always supposed to be the night to have this conversation.
That's correct. That's correct. So before we get into the specifics of the organization, tell us a little bit about yourself personally.
Oh, a little bit about me. Well, listen, when I wake up in the mornings, I'm usually focused on the work that I do.
Okay.
So I work in public health and social well-being. I'm a researcher, and I'm usually designing programs, trying to get people to change their health for the better. So I work on really hard issues, usually for Black and Brown people.
Okay.
I'm also a strategist, and I've been fortunate that usually my work is all over the country. Sometimes it's been in other places in the world. And so I'm also a golfer. I love golf. I got bitten by the bug at some point, and I'm now pretty serious about my golf and have had a coach. And so I enjoy that. That's kind of me on the personal side, what I tend to enjoy doing. So there's a little bit about Jewel.
Good. And how long you been playing golf, Jewel?
I've been playing golf off and on since the early 2000s.
Okay. So what's your best part of your game?
I really enjoy hitting my driver.
Okay.
And woods. I have great days, I think, sometimes with putting.
Yes.
Especially, the bottom line for me is as long as I'm like staying still. Good things can happen, but I do really love hitting my driver.
That's good. And Joe, where you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, the Queen City, right up the road from us.
Right up the road.
Good. And how did you get your start in golf? Was it just like you got invited, or tell us about that?
What's interesting is I have a wonderful experience when it comes to golf. My dad, John Love, is a huge golfer, a huge Black golf historian. Started playing golf in his early 20s. He's 79 years old, always been in a golf group, always played competitively.
Wow.
So I grew up only seeing Black golfers.
That's good.
I didn't grow up with the sport, seeing it in its very sort of white space exclusivity. I saw Black golfers all the time, every week. And that's what I heard about. And I mean, lots.
Right.
My dad, his golf group, they traveled, across multiple states.
Right.
They put on tournaments. And so I really feel like so crazy now that I didn't play golf growing up, but I didn't do it. But what happened, I lived in Washington, D.C. for a long time, and I worked a lot. And I thought, I need something that will keep me outside and keep me balanced. So I said, you know what? I'm going to start playing golf. And that's what happened. I went, I took a lesson, interestingly, down at Potomac Park in DC. And that's kind of how I started playing. And from that point, as I said, played off and on.
Yeah, the bug. And Joe, what's your home course in Charlotte?
Home course, well, you got to give love to Sifford, like,
Yeah,
right? I
Sifford,
mean,
the
just because
nine-hole course.
of the history, and that's the spot. That's the hangout spot,
Yeah.
for my dad and his crew. But we play all over.
Okay.
So, not necessarily one course, but we acknowledge the courses that we should,
Yes.
and that are special and near and dear, no doubt.
Hmm.
But we do play all over, and I absolutely enjoy that. Now, I do have a real practice environment,
Okay.
which I practice over actually in Pineville,
Okay.
at that First Tee Center that's there, because it's a great practice facility. So.
Okay, great. Well, good. Well, good. It's good to see that you're heavily involved in the game and you actually play and take lessons and the whole nine. So that's really good. That means you're deep into it. Yeah. So tell us about Society 61.
Sure. Society 61, there are two brands, and both of those brands were started by Chris Fields,
Okay.
actually out of Los Angeles. Initially, Chris started Society 61, which is the apparel company.
Okay. So that was
And
first.
that was first. And he was actually, he was new to golf and was watching a documentary. He was watching Uneven Lives, Pete's documentary, Pete McDaniel. And he got so moved by the history of Black golf that he was like, I would have to do something. So he started the apparel company. And then about a year later, both of them are young companies, right? About a year later, because 61 was 2021. And then in 2022, he thought, I really need to do something that has a message in this space. And so he started the foundation, which is the Society 61 Foundation. And our focus, I'm on the board of the foundation, and I'm an advisor for both of them, really about updating the golf culture, number one.
Okay.
Clearly, some things have to shift if we all want to reach our goals of this game and industry, being diversified on a level that we're going to be proud of. Secondly, we're very focused on working with skilled junior golfers and taking them to an elite level. We believe that there are a number of places and spaces where you have opportunity to expand the pipeline, right? Because if we don't do that, and we, sort of don't put in Black and brown young people in this pipeline,
at the beginning,
we're not going to
get
some relevant numbers. And so, we believe those are sort of our focus areas in what we call this movement to truly diversify this game in a way that we may not be here, but we do know that it will happen over time. And so with our eligible for membership junior golf league, that is where for us, Black and brown junior golfers, that's where we're working with them, again, skilled, helping them take their game to the elite level, doing everything we can from A to Z to make sure they know about the industry and they can look at the industry as an option, as a career, giving them pathways. If you want to go to college, absolutely. If you want to go to college and play college golf, absolutely.
You can do that too.
To keep enhancing and keep updating your game. And so that's where we really do that work. And that's the center point right now when it comes to the foundation.
That's good. That's good. And you're and the foundation's a 501c3?
The foundation is the 501c3. That's at society61.org. And the apparel company is society61.com. And I should say this, we actually have a big sale right now with the apparel company because we're making room for new gear. Everything is $25. So head over, whomever, and check out what is there. But yeah, the foundation is the 501c3.
Okay. And so Jewel, why juniors?
I think that what has happened when you say sort of why juniors, for us, we really looked at the industry, the notion of, people talking about diversity,
right,
and equity and
and
inclusion,
inclusion. Mm-hmm.
and said, well, okay, what does that mean for Society 61? We look at the landscape and we say, well, where are the gaps?
Right.
And what actually needs to be filled, right?
Right.
The league was a part of the beginning of the foundation. And when I say that, the Eligible for Membership Junior Golf League, part of that, started out in California, in Los Angeles, and that's the juniors. And we realize this is the right place for us. We need to keep expanding our work and expanding what is actually happening in terms of what is needed for this population.
Right.
Again, we talk about the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to diversify the industry,
Right.
The reality of young people being in the pipeline is what does that.
Right.
Okay.
And it needs to be a lot.
And well, sure, there have to be a lot. We have to start a lot younger. 8, 9 years old, you're embedded in this, you're embedded in the junior world in a heavy way. I need to do that to you. But if you don't put the numbers
right
in the pipeline,
yes,
and I've said this before, you will have gaps, and you will have gaps in years, and that becomes difficult to make up. And that's really, I believe, I'm a researcher, a reflection of where we are.
Right.
Because if we're not intentional, if we're not even urgent,
right,
then what?
Yeah.
So this is where we are. So that's why juniors are our focus. We believe that's the right place and space for us. And we're really committed to this whole concept with the pipeline and expanding it.
That's good. That's really good, Joe. I like everything that I'm hearing so far. And I want to ask you, you said, I know you said that the foundation's been around for the last year, per se. What have been some of the highlights of 2022? I know we just kind of getting 2023 going, and y'all got some big plans, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But what have been some of the strides that y'all have already started to make with the Society 61 organization?
Well, we'll start with a stride of having had multiple sessions
Okay.
of our EFM Junior Golf League.
Okay.
Started that out at historic Chester, Washington Golf Course in Los Angeles.
Beautiful.
We added a second location, Knollwood Country Club.
Okay.
So that's something, and had additional junior golfers to come and be part of the league. That's important. We won the opportunity to be at the PGA show. Chris had come and participated in the African American Golf Expo.
Right.
We decided to submit a video. They had a contest about sharing your story.
Okay.
And so did that, got third place, gave us a discount, if you will, to come to the PGA show.
Okay.
Made the decision to go. That's a highlight because for us, we run ourselves in almost a very corporate way.
Okay.
Yes, it's a foundation, but we don't think small. We don't think grassroots.
Mm-hmm.
We looked strategically and said, well, hey, why would we go to the PGA show?
Right.
What's going to be a benefit for us? And we decided, yeah, we have an apparel company. We understand it's a merchandise show,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to go because we want to take our message.
Gotcha.
And we built our entire design of our booth around sharing the message that
Mm-hmm.
this is who we are. This is what we're coming to do.
And we're not apologetic for it, right?
And we're unapologetic for it. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Right.
And we wanted to do that. And even in doing that, we got asked to be on a panel on the main stage.
Okay.
And so that moves us a little more into 2023, but these things happened at the end of 2022. And the foundation came to being, late summer-ish, if you will. So going to the African American Golf Expo, kind of, moved a number of things forward, and we've been able to do that rapidly. We have a model that we built.
Okay.
An actual model that we have that is guiding our work, that is guiding how we do this. It's a 3-phased approach. And so it's there for us to also modify when needed, because again, we're kind of not out here just like, oh, we're very focused, right, and we're very intentional. And then we've made some decisions in designing that model that go beyond having the EFM junior golf leagues to say, well, you know what? We're going to need to be an entity that also creates certain kinds of branded events for junior golfers.
Gotcha.
We'll talk about that in a bit, but
yes,
we're focused on that. We know that we have to create ways for coaches and others in the industry to see young people that never get seen. So we understand that our audio visual capabilities that we have to be put into play to create video profiles. We're looking at things like the development of a podcast that will feature our juniors from the league as co-hosts. And we utilize our apparel company as a way to fund many things that are happening with the nonprofit and with the foundation. So, we've been on this journey and tried to certainly do it in a way that is very strategic. And not jumping too quickly, even though the train has been moving fast, but really laying out a plan, implementing that plan, and making the changes that we need to make along the way.
That's good. And I know y'all have only been in a short period of time, but things are moving fast. So far, what have you seen that needs to be improved with junior golf?
And that's a big question. You think about sort of junior golf, but I tell you, junior golf is not a system that was designed for us.
Gotcha.
And so when I'm talking about us, I'm talking about Black and brown. So everybody understand that's what I'm talking about, Black and brown. It wasn't designed for us. And so you could spin your wheels and your time trying to change the system, enhance the system. But as I said earlier, our approach is to look at the target audience we're focused on. Say, okay, what do they need? What are the gaps in this system? And therefore, which of these gaps, and it might be all of them, should we fill so that the young people we're focused on are having the best experience possible that they can have? See, we want to be very careful not to get sidetracked and sometimes when you get too focused on the system at hand, you might get where you're veered off because your energies are on trying to make that system better or shifted or convince people. And it's a very layered system. It's a very, very layered system. And one thing I do, I will say to the specific question that you asked is that our parents need way more information.
Yes.
To understand, right, what is actually happening, needed, how this thing might flow. If you have a son or daughter that becomes really good, better and better, here's what you can expect. And so, but I think we can collectively do that as well. But there's a real deficit there. I have noticed that everywhere, like across the country, and parents are like, I don't know. I didn't know. How does this work? Well, shouldn't the T be telling us? No, it doesn't work like that.
No. And Jill, that's why I started the podcast 3 years ago. This is going into our 4th year because I didn't have a clue of, what tournaments to play, how the junior golf scoreboard worked, what college coaches were looking for, nutrition, fitness, mental coaching. I mean, it's a lot that junior parents don't know, like you just said, and that's a result of the Junior Golf podcast, is to bring knowledge and bring awareness of the things that parents need to know.
That's fantastic. Well, see, that's a tremendous service, and we point people, definitely to your podcast, to you see now that you know me, I'm introducing, I'm like, yep, connect over here, connect with this brother, talk to Ro.
I
we're
talked to him
doing
today
that
too.
Because great. I mean, it's a resource, and it's a tremendous resource, and you did exactly what we're talking about. You saw here's a gap, and you're experiencing it yourself with your son. You're like, I don't know. Let me create a platform so that I can find out, but let me now share this information with other parents and caregivers.
And that's exactly what I did. So Jewel, give us a sneak peek into 2023. Y'all have some amazing things that's getting ready to happen with junior golf, California, East Coast, and I know y'all have some plans to probably expand. So give us a little sneak peek of what's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, that's exciting. Let's start out with a sneak peek talking about the Society 61 Cup. We have decided to do our initial 2-day stroke play event. That will happen June 12th to 14th. The golf will actually happen on the 13th and 14th of June in Los Angeles at No Country Club. But on the 12th, we will have some exciting activities that range from a clinic to a forum that will include LPGA, PGA, industry folks. This will be great for the junior golfers as well as parents. We'll also do an outing at Top Golf. We want to make sure that this is a competitive tournament, definitely, but we want to sprinkle in a bit of fun because we know that it's going to be a great opportunity for a wonderful field to be put together, a competitive field, but for them to be able to interact and have some fun as well. So we'll do some things like having a best dressed sort of contest. We'll have a putting contest, those kinds of things, but trying to certainly make it fun. We also are going to do some things that we're testing out in terms of, we think, we've done this one sheet where we talk about what are the benefits in participating in this tournament. Now, this is boys and girls ages 12 to 18. Obviously 18. They must be in school. Yep, 12 to 18. They must be in. But one other thing we're going to do in terms of the prizes is we're going to provide vouchers.
Okay.
And these vouchers will be up to $250, and they will be available for travel and lodging and entry fees into tournaments.
Okay.
At whatever tournament that the player wants to enter in.
Okay.
And so if you win first place,
Mm-hmm.
you will get 4 vouchers.
Oh,
win
okay.
second, you will get 3. Win third, you will get 1. We also are working to make sure that there are sponsors that will be there.
Okay.
That can become connections to NIL related deals.
Yeah, that's a big topic.
We're going
right now.
to have resources, huh?
Yeah, that's a big
What'd you
topic right now, NIL.
Yeah, yep. We're going to have resources related to colleges, coaches, the pathway, how
Right.
you do all of this from the age of 13 or 14, the different things that you need to be doing. We'll have obviously great giveaways and prizes, and really direct links and direct connections again to industry leaders, industry professionals, whether that be LPGA, PGA, others.
Right.
We have some wonderful folks that have confirmed so far to be part of the clinic itself.
Okay.
So that's a real big deal. That's coming up in a couple of months, June 12th to the 14th. It's actually the week of the beginning of the week of the Open. So we think that's going to be a big plus. And then right after that, we have our annual Society 61 True Legends Golf Classics, which is really the foundation's annual tournament, which happens on Juneteenth. Again, out in Los Angeles at Porter Valley Country Club. Yep. And then lastly, we are looking at expanding the eligible for membership junior golf league.
Okay.
We've started to look at the East Coast first. And one of the ways we're trying to sort of assess if it makes sense to put the league somewhere is we're looking in the Charlotte region.
Okay.
That's because I'm right here, but we're looking in the Charlotte region. And so we decided to do, a tournament.
A teaser.
To assess the talent.
Right.
And we're having that tournament. We got rained out the other day. Anyway, we're having that tournament on April 22nd in Lancaster, South Carolina at Lancaster Golf Course. And so we see that as a way to bring Black and brown junior golfers together, because it's an invitational tournament where, for us, it's like, yeah, this is for African American and other minority junior golfers who play competitively.
Right.
And so we're looking at doing that. And, those are some of the highlights for 2023. There's some other things in the works as well, but we'll lift those few things up right now.
Okay. And Jewel, what's your goal for the Cup as far as how many juniors you're trying to, get to participate?
We'd love a field of 72.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
And
we'd love a field of 72.
And what about your teaser in Lancaster? What's your goal there?
That's a lot lighter.
Okay.
Because we understand that the numbers are small.
Yeah.
Right.
And we talked about it.
And I got the real deal directly from Ro, everybody.
Right.
And so listen, if we have 10, 15, 16, we're good with that. And we were right around there when, we were scheduled this past weekend and the rain got us.
Yeah.
But, and we think that's where it might be.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Right.
This isn't the kind of tournament where we're like, we're trying to have 40, 50, 60.
Right.
What we're trying to do is have competitive, junior golfers come play.
Okay.
Together, and so that we can really share with them who we are, talk to their parents and caregivers, and assess whether or not there would even be the interest. to
Right.
be a part of the kind of league that we're talking about.
That's good. That's good. Well, this has been good, Jewel. And so, Jewel, how can I know you talked about it before, but how can our listeners reach out to you on social media? I know you gave the society61.org and the society61.com. How can our listeners find you on social media?
Oh, thank you. Well, you can find us on Instagram at
Okay.
Society61 Golf.
Okay.
Society61 Golf. And certainly if you have any questions that you want to ask us about anything that I've shared
Right.
here, email us if you want to at info@society61.org. You can send us a direct message, right, on Instagram at Society61 Golf.
Okay. That's good, Joe. That's good. So, Joe, as we get ready to wrap up, um, what's the uh, what's the ultimate game plan? If as you look at Society 61, in 2023 and beyond, what's the ultimate game plan for the organization?
Well, the game plan is the mission that I laid out.
Mm-hmm.
That what we are about is updating the culture of this industry, expanding and enhancing the pipeline, uh, and really staying in this mindset of the movement that we're in, to really truly be able to diversify this industry in a way that we
Right.
will all certainly be proud. Our focus is on, junior golfers.
Okay.
We believe that's the right place for us. It's a sweet spot for us. And we understand that, if juniors are not put into the pipeline,
Right.
we don't get to reach the diversity that we all say that we want. When we were at the PGA show, um, on the panel, and it was a lovely experience, but we shared and said, hey, listen, if you don't embed African American businesses into this industry, it's not going to happen.
We'll make
Like,
it.
you have to embed African American industry businesses into the industry in order for diversity
To truly happen.
Okay, so say that in order for diversity to truly happen. So one thing I forgot to say was that the cost of the Society 61 Cup is $250 per player. So we've tried to certainly make it a price within range of what these kinds of, competitive skilled golfers, elite golfers, absolutely are used to paying. But I just realized I didn't say that. So anyway, so those are, that's
And the
where we
teaser
are.
and the teaser, Jules, 25, right?
Oh yeah, the teaser. I love the way you call it the teaser.
Yes.
Yeah, the teaser's like fun,
Yes.
25. And I gotta give a real like lift up to our Black golf community in the Charlotte area.
Yeah.
They've been so wonderful. I just kind of did these lightweight, like, oh, let's just do some sponsorships, $50, $100. And because the brothers, they can just hand you 50. So they've
Right.
been supportive. But yeah, the teaser's 25. Hey, listen, you can reach me quickly if you want to come play in the teaser, because we
Yes.
probably will not make it, beyond a certain number.
Right.
Because we're going off at 1:00 in the
Okay.
afternoon.
Okay.
And we definitely want to make sure we get through, but we also are comfortable. And Mark Lathan, who's a brother out of Charlotte, who's been just so wonderful helping me with this and really leading it in a lot of places and spaces. We also are okay with, we know we'll have golfers that will play 18 holes. Absolutely. That's the objective.
Yes.
But we're okay with, we may have some that it'll be good for them to play 9.
Yeah,
So,
and that's the younger ones. That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
We want both. We want both. That's how you can really assess the talents. So
Right. Yeah, that's good, Drew. But Drew, this has been great. from the Junior Golf Podcast family, we just want to say thank you for coming on and doing this podcast tonight. And hopefully we can get back on in the next maybe 6 to 9 months and just kind of update us on what's happened.
We'd love to do that. I mean, I just we all appreciate in behalf of Chris and our board and everybody that supports Society 61. Thank you, Ro, for having us on, and thank you for being patient for us to get this scheduled.
Oh, I know.
And you are so knowledgeable and so wonderful and so giving with your information. So we really appreciate that too.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, tell Chris, we've been trying to get this worked out for a while, and we finally got it. But tell him he needs to come on too next time.
Sure, absolutely. Okay. You can have him on it, right before, like a month before the Cup. I'll tell him that for sure.
Yeah, let's get him on. All right. Well, thank you, Jim. All right, and have a good night.
Thank you.
Okay.
All righty, you too.
Thank you for listening to the Junior Golf Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We hope you enjoyed this new episode, and if you did, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please share this episode with others who may be interested in this topic. Also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes. Get in touch in the comments or on any of our social media networks. See you next week for a new episode